Hello, we're going to take a quick look at Infernus. We're going to talk about his abilities and a build that I've been using I've called Tankfernus GarvesGaming. It's really fun, you're pretty tanky. First, let's talk about the abilities. Catalyst. Spew napalm that slows an enemy movement and amplifies damage Infernus does to them. Damage amplification is 20%. Upgrading it does 1 charge, gives Infernus 15% lifesteal, 20 and then 20% damage, and does minus 40% regen and 40% healing. Flame Dash. Move forward at a high speed and leave a flame trail that burns enemies. Infernus gains 50% slow resistance for the duration. Hold click to dash faster. Upgrading, 30% fire rate slow for 6 seconds, 45% DPS, then 19-second minus cooldown. Afterburn. Your bullets build up to apply a burning effect on enemies. Infernus's bullets and abilities will refresh the duration. Upgrading. Victims deal 30% spirit damage, burn duration plus 1 second, and then plus 30 DPS. Concussive Combustion. Turns you into a living bomb that explodes after a short delay, stunning all enemies in its radius. Upgrading minuses cooldown, increases the stun and radius, and then it increases the damage and gives you 100% lifesteal. Okay, we're going to talk about the ability point order real quick. I like to start with Afterburn, and then get Flame Dash. Upgrade Afterburn with 1 click. Get Catalyst. Get Concussive Combustion. Fully upgrade Afterburner. Fully upgrade Flame Dash. 1 click on Catalyst. 2 clicks on Concussive Combustion. Finish upgrading Catalyst and then get your last click on Concussive Combustion. Okay, let's talk about the items. So first off, I'm going to start with the healing. I have the same 3 on pretty much everybody because these items are just so good. They're super cheap. And the way I would look at these $500 items is if buying this is going to earn me at least 250 souls, then it pays for itself because when I sell it later on, I get the 250 back. And having extra regen or a restorative shot in lane is super nice. Because the way this guy's kit is and he has okay survivability right off the bat, I actually only get 1 of these. Usually I get extra regen and I just grab it right at the start. Makes it super easy. You can be really aggressive in your lane. It's really good. Restorative shot, I do like to get this over this if I'm playing against an aggressive like Mo and Krill because it's super easy to land the shot, but typically I end up getting the extra regen. Okay, lane phase. Basic mag gives you more damage, more ammo, and the reason why it's super nice to have more ammo on this character because you're trying to apply your afterburner. You're shooting a lot, so you're wasting a lot of bullets, and it's nice to get an extra couple bullets mag to get that burn off. Later on, this can be upgraded to Titanic Magazine. Headshot Booster. This upgrades into Headhunter. However, for this build, we don't actually end up upgrading it. It's just nice, gives you a quick 40 bullet shield, gives you good damage, gives you good boost when you shoot their head. This ends up being sold later on, but it's just a good buy. Enduring Spirit, this works perfectly for what we're going for. We got lifesteal, we got extra health. Sprint Boots, this upgrades into Enduring Speed, which is good for this character because you like to run around. He's pretty fast. His Flame Dash is based on his movement speed, so having this makes it go even faster. Gives you some extra damage, some extra regen. Good item. Infuser. Later on, you end up selling this, especially if you're struggling on getting some flex slots. But it's a really cheap, good buy. And if you're good at using the active, which I like to use the active if I ever apply Afterburn on a hero, then I just pop this because it's plus 16 spirit power for the whole burn. It's super nice and it gives you some lifesteal. Also, if you're running through a bunch of people with a flame dash, that's another good time to pop this. Okay, core items. Quicksilver reload. I get this first in this section always. I don't necessarily buy in order in this section, but I do always get this. Quicksilver reload, you want to imbue catalyst. So every time you hit this, it reloads your whole clip. So you could run up, dump your clip into someone, throw some napalm on them, and just keep dumping on them. Soul Shredder bullets. It's a good item, plus 17% damage, really good, but really, when you shoot the person, they get a debuff that gives more lifesteal and spirit amplification for everybody that's targeting them. So this is just generally good. It works pretty much perfect with Afterburn. Spirit lifesteal, similar to Enduring Spirit, just gives you more health, more spirit lifesteal. It's a good item, it's really cheap. Enduring Speed, upgrade off of this, reduces the effectiveness of movement slows, increases your movement, gives you more health. Mystic Vulnerability. This is later on upgraded into Escalating Exposure. It works really good for this character because Afterburn is constantly doing ticks of damage. So every time that tick of damage, it refreshes the duration of Mystic Vulnerability. Plus every other ability is going to do it. So the ticks, when you do upgrade it to this, each tick will add a stack within that max frequency per target. Really fast on stacking for Escalating Exposure. Duration Extender gives you more health, makes you a little bit more tanky. 8 more spirit power, it's alright. The real cool thing about this is when you upgrade it, it gives everything more duration, but when you upgrade it into superior duration, you're going to imbue afterburn, and it's going to make your afterburn just last like 10 seconds and it just does a ton of damage. You'll kill people that you haven't seen for a few seconds. They think they get away and they end up burning to death. Suppressor, more health, decent amount of damage. 12 spirit for an item this cheap is actually good. Reduces their fire rate. This upgrades into Mystic Slow, which will reduce fire rate and movement speed, which is just really good. The exact same thing on the stats, just more bigger numbers. Berserker, ammo, a little bit of tankiness with the bullet resist, more damage. As you're taking damage, which a lot of times you will be because people will be trying to shoot you and you're running around healing a bunch with your flame dash and everything, you get a bunch of stacks that increase your damage over and over and over. Bullet armor and spirit armor are both good. I typically get these in whatever order. Like if they have a lot of spirit damage, I'll get this one first. If they have a lot of bullet damage, like a haze is getting fed, then I'll get this one first. But I do end up getting both usually. Ricochet, really good for this character. It lets your bullets bounce around and you do way more damage. And since the bullets are bouncing from one target to another, it applies afterburn on every person that's getting hit by the ricochet. It's really good. Toxic bullets. This is stacks the same fast as afterburn. So since you're already trying to stack this, stacking this just happens automatically. It increases the damage, reduces their healing. Really good. Overall, super good. And this healing reduction stacks with catalyst healing reduction multiplicatively, not additively. So it doesn't do 105%. It does times 0.65 on the reduction, and then it times that by another 0.4 to do the second reduction. It doesn't add them up. Late game, this doesn't necessarily matter which order you buy. Typically what I do end up buying is I go Leech, superior duration, and then I go like Mystic Slow and then improved spirit armor typically, but either way this section is all good. Leech, more spirit lifesteal, more bullet lifesteal, more spirit, more health, more damage. Everything that you already have but more of. And since a lot of your damage is hybrid because you're shooting a lot to get your afterburner on, but then you're doing a lot of spirit damage because the afterburn is burning them, this just helps with both sides of it. Improved spirit armor, you're just trying to be really tanky, live long, and it's pretty much a spirit meta. It has been for a while. So this is always a good buy. Bullet armor, I don't upgrade this as often. I will if there's a super fed haze or something like that, but it's a good if you do get to that point in the game. Titanic magazine, same reason why basic mag is good. It just gives you big massive clips so you can just keep shooting and shooting and shooting. And at this point in the game, you get to where you can shoot like 70 to 100 bullets and then you reload instantly with your quicksilver reload and keep shooting. Tons of damage, tons of healing. Mystic Slow. It makes the one they do you do spirit damage, it slows them, and you're doing spirit damage even just on your regular shot with afterburn. So this just makes so you're just slowing them like crazy. If you're get them stuck in a flame dash, they're slowed even more because this 30% will stack with this 30%, and they got a 60% move speed slow right there. Inhibitor, really good for just being tanky, gives you some bonus damage. Every time you shoot him, it does a slow, and this slow, again, does stack with Mystic Slow and Flame Dash, so depending on how you're damaging them, they're just walking really slow. Soul Rebirth. This is good for every character in the game. I know I say that every single time, but it's good for every single character in the game. Spirit power, health, and cooldown reduction, plus you will respawn, so it's a good item. Superior duration. This has a bunch of good stats, but main the reason why you're getting it is to imbue afterburn so that the burn just lasts forever. Escalating exposure, upgraded from Mystic Vulnerability, will stack super quick with your afterburn, gives you a tons of health, tons of spirit resistance, and the minus 12% spirit resistance on spirit damage is the same passive that this has. So you still have it over here, even though it kind of doesn't look like you do, you still do have it. So it's really good. Spiritual Overflow. Usually the game is over before I'm even buying like half of these, but anyway. Spiritual Overflow gives you more cooldown reduction, so you can just ult way more often. You could run around way more often, napalm way more often. However, when you shoot somebody, you get 12% per shot buildup, and because you're already stacking this, you're shooting a lot, right? So you get this buff all the time. It lasts 18 seconds. There's not a cooldown on it as long as you can keep getting shots off, and it does count with ricochet shots, by the way. If you keep getting shots off, this is just up all the time. Having 30% more fire rate and 50 more spirit power on top is just really good. Frenzy. While you're below 50%, you gain extra stats, which gives you more movement speed, more fire rate, and more bullet resist. This is surprisingly perfect for this character because a lot of times you'll get low, you'll run through their whole team with a flame dash, and with this you're running so quick. Plus you have that extra bullet resistance, and it already gives you like good health and whatever else. Just a good item. It's a good buy. Colossus. This is Probably the item that's going to give you the most just straight up tankiness if you do get to the point of buying this. It gives you a ton of health, but really the thing is the active. It gives you 40% spirit and bullet resist, and it does an AoE slow around you. And yes, this slow does stack with every other slow you already have. So if you run into their whole team or they're ulting or something and you pop the Colossus passive, it's going to make you take hardly any damage. You're already hard to kill because your hitbox is relatively tiny, and you run quick and you have a lot of lifesteal by the time you get to this point in the build. Situational. So ethereal shift, if there's a wraith that's going to only ult you or something like that, and you want to just have something to just get out of it, this is a good option for that. Ethereal shift, everyone knows what it does. Makes you invulnerable for a few seconds if you pop it. It's a good way to dodge abilities. Some spirit power. Knockdown. This does give you an extra stamina, and this character is kind of lacking in that department. You only have 3 stamina, so that's kind of cool. But really, the active is what makes this thing really good. It lets you put an anvil up above someone's head and just drop it on them and stun them. Pretty good. The stun duration is 0.9 seconds. However, if you have superior duration, then the stun goes up to 1.3. Unstoppable. If they have tons of CCs, you're fighting in Dynamo ults and whatever else, this is always a good buy. It's BKB, makes you invulnerable to stuns. And pop this, run in there with your ult, and there's nothing they can do to you. Metal Skin, this is just one of those items that it's just good for exactly what it does, which makes you immune to bullets and melee attacks for a few seconds when you pop it. If someone's popping off with bullet damage and they're super fed and they're melting everyone, this was a good way to shut them down. However, a lot of times you're better off just kind of playing with every other item. Let me know what you think about this build. I've had a lot of fun with it. I like going through and learning every hero in the game. It helps me play against them, and it helps me just not get as bored, seeing different perspectives and things like that. I do plan on eventually having a guide out for every single hero, but it does take time to learn the heroes, come up with a build that I like, and also make the footage and then post it. So they'll come as they come. And if there are major changes to any of the builds when patches come out, I'll try to make update videos, but yeah. Careful, Infernus, what do you mean?
Like New York. I see krill.
Oh man, I should have meleeed. Oh, careful. What do you do? Die.
Please. Good job. Try to keep up.
Dang, they're both so low.
You want to mess with me? Low man's here.
This Ivy's just getting...
Nice job.
a lot of damage on.
Reassemble.
How did the ult miss Ivy? Ivy ulted, she's flying away.
I see haze.
I guess she came back.
Turn them to ashes. That ain't happening today. No, sucker.
Our blue guardian has been destroyed.
Haze is right here.
I shouldn't have punched him. I should have ran.
They won't be the last.
I just dropped $2,000 ball sack.
Our blue walker is under attack.
Incinerated. I'm going in. You thought I was gonna forget what you did to me? Bebop's reeling them in. She gets easier every time. Set the spark.
Mo's down here in the basement. I hear him.
You see that shit? On the move. Who's with me?
Is waiting to play.
Ace is right here.
Huge dynamo ult.
Keep fighting, Infernus.
There's no escaping me. Good job.
Mid boss. Mid.
Let's go mid.
Rejuvenate is descending. Our purple walker is under attack.
Keep your eyes on Flash. On me? I see the enemy. Nice hook. Bag him.
The urn is being delivered. I think we only have one right left. Their kingdom is exposed.
Just gotta keep that momentum.
Battle's blade strikes true.
Let's just reset.
Burning a path.
Is ours.
Good luck not getting shot. Initiate. Stop ward.
Plan is to kill the ball in the back of their base.
Keep fighting, Infernus.
Burn it down. No one. Nice work.
I'm coming yellow.
Thank you.
Our order is under attack. Rejuvenate is descending. Enemy stole the rejuvenator.
They have the rejuvenate.
That was a good steal.
Our yellow walker has been defeated.
Turns out morality is subjective.
If they're pushing purple and stuff, we could end the game.
Our purple walker has been destroyed. Thank you for bringing me to this play.
Congratulations.
Good game.